RHOC Vicki Gunvalson receives Lifetime Achievement Award. Real Housewives of Orange County star Vicki Gunvalson has something to celebrate on Friday at BravoCon. She was presented with the first ever Lifetime Achievement Award during the Bravos. Vicki got a bit emotional while accepting the award. Continue reading to see what she has to say about her 18 years with the network. Vicki Gunvalson receives first ever Lifetime Award. The RHOC alum received the award during the Bravos, which is a parody award show that takes place during BravoCon each year. Andy Cohen hosted the awards show. However, Vicki Gunvalson was surprised by a few familiar faces to present her with her trophy. Fellow RHOC alums Joe De La Rosa, Lori Peterson, Alexis Bellino, and Gretchen Rossi were all there to present her with the first ever Lifetime Achievement Award. Gunvalson, 61, visibly held back tears as she took the stage at BravoCon 2023. She started her speech by recalling something from the first season of Real Housewives of Orange County. "If you watched season 1, as Lori reminded me, I was like, I don't want to get old. But here we are getting old together," Vicki said. The reality TV star continued, "I want to thank my sisterhood of all my Housewives fans and friends and my cast members that we filmed with season 1 18 years ago. I love you all. Andy Cohen and Scott Dunlop, who created this franchise, and for seeing something in me that I didn't see myself. None of this would be possible without all the fans who supported me and loved me through all this that I had. It has not been easy. Everybody, it has not been easy." Then she continued her speech by quoting a few of her infamous lines from the years she was on RHOC. Vicki's legacy and leaving RHOC. Andy Cohen announced that Vicki Gunvalson would be honored at the BravoCon Awards show in September on What Happens Live. Vicki was a guest on the show with Tamra Judge and Shannon Storms-Beater. On What Happens Live, Andy said that Vicki embodied everything it meant to be a housewife. During the after-show, she talked to Andy Cohen about how lucky she felt to be part of RHOC and the family at Bravo. Vicki Gunvalson was part of the original Real Housewives of Orange County, cast when the network started filming in 2006. However, she decided to leave the show in 2020 after the network moved her to a reduced role. At the time, Vicki had been a key part of the reality television program for 14 years. In March 2020, she opened up about her decision to leave RHOC and admitted that she had FOMO about not filming. Ultimately, she believes she made the right choice, though. "Those last few years doing the show, for me, were really toxic, and when anything becomes toxic in my age at life, be it your career, relationships, friendships, you have to cut it out," Vicki said of her departure. Since leaving RHOC, she has continued to work with Bravo on other projects. She appeared on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Ex-Wives Club and also returned as a guest in RHOC's 17th season. Vicki Gunvalson, the OG of the OC, stood at the center of the grand ballroom, her signature blonde locks shimmering under the crystal chandeliers. Tonight was her night. The Real Housewives Lifetime Achievement Award, an honor created to celebrate the larger-than-life personalities that defined Bravo's gilded universe, was being bestowed upon none other than the woman who started it all. The moment had an air of destiny. Vicki's gown, a custom creation dripping in Swarovski crystals, caught the light as she ascended the stage. Flanked by towering arrangements of white roses and a giant golden W carved with the Bravo logo, the scene was quintessentially Housewives, bold, opulent, and just a little over the top. "Woo-hoo!" Vicki shouted as she reached the podium, eliciting a wave of applause and laughter. Her iconic catchphrase echoed through the room, reminding everyone why she was the heart of the franchise. Tears welled in her eyes as she took in the sight of her friends, family, and former castmates who had gathered to honor her. First of all, Vicki began, her voice steady but emotional. "I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. It means the world to me. When I started this journey, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I just thought, hey, why not let cameras into my life? And boy, did I let them in." The audience chuckled knowingly. After all, Vicki had let the cameras into everything. Her family, her career, her heartbreaks, and her epic fights. There was no part of her life that hadn't been laid bare for the world to see. Sitting at the front table, Tamra Judge raised her glass in a toast. "That's my girl," she cheered, her voice carrying over the applause. Beside her sat Shannon Beater, who dabbed at her eyes with a napkin, clearly moved. Even Kelly Dodd, Vicki's former frenemy, managed a smile and a clap, though her sideways glance at Shannon suggested she had thoughts. Vicki's daughter, Brianna Culberson, beamed from her seat, holding her husband's hand. Brianna had been through the ups and downs of her mom's reality TV journey and knew better than anyone what this moment meant. As Vicki continued her speech, she delved into the history of the Real Housewives phenomenon. When the Real Housewives of Orange County premiered, we had no idea it would become what it is today. We were just living our lives, balancing families and careers. But you know what? We did something special. We showed the world that women over 40 are fabulous, fierce, and not to be underestimated. The crowd erupted into cheers, led by the current cast of RHOC, who had gathered in a show of solidarity. Emily Simpson leaned over to whisper something to Gina Kirschenheiter, who laughed, clearly enjoying the nostalgia of it all. Vicki's tone turned introspective. "I've made mistakes along the way," she admitted. "I've had my share of regrets. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that life is about growth. It's about learning from those mistakes and becoming a better person. And let's be honest, it's also about whooping it up every chance you get." The room erupted into laughter and applause. The phrase "whoop it up" had become synonymous with Vicki over the years, a reminder of her zest for life. As the speech went on, clips from Vicki's time on RHOC played on a massive screen behind her. The audience watched as iconic moments flashed by. Vicki and Tamra's Jesus Jugs fight, the infamous Brooks cancer scam saga, her tumultuous romance with Steve Lodge, and countless vacations that devolved into screaming matches. But there were also tender moments. Vicki's deep bond with Brianna, her love for her grandchildren, and her tireless work ethic that made Koto Insurance a success. "To my family," Vicki said, her voice cracking slightly, "thank you for standing by me through everything. Brianna, Michael, my beautiful grandbabies, you are my world. And to my friends, old and new, thank you for the laughs, the tears, and the tequila shots. I couldn't have done this without you." The camera panned to Michael Wolfsmith, her son, who gave a small, proud nod. And finally, Vicki said, raising the glittering statuette in her hands, "Thank you to the fans. You've been with me through it all. You've seen me at my best and at my worst, and you've embraced me for who I am. This award isn't just for me. It's for all of you. Because without you, there'd be no Whoop It Up Wednesdays or Fun Bus or any of the memories we've made together." The audience rose to their feet, applauding thunderously. Vicki's speech had perfectly encapsulated her journey, from a suburban mom with a dream to a reality TV icon. As the night continued, the celebration moved into full swing. A live band played covers of 80s hits, a nod to Vicki's favorite era, while guests danced, sipped champagne, and posed for photos in front of an extravagant step and repeat. Tamra and Shannon were spotted on the dance floor, recreating their infamous Tres Amigas moves, while Andy Cohen made his rounds, congratulating Vicki and charming everyone with his signature wit. Later in the evening, Vicki was surprised with a video montage featuring messages from housewives across the franchises. From New York's Ramona Singer to Atlanta's Nene Leakes, each had something heartfelt and often hilarious to say. Lisa Vanderpump, in true LVP fashion, ended her message with a toast, holding a glass of rosé aloft. To Vicki, the OG of the OC, she said with a sly smile, "May you always whoop it up." As the night drew to a close, Vicki stood at the edge of the dance floor, looking out at the room filled with laughter and love. For all the drama and heartache that came with being a real housewife, this moment made it all worth it. She had built a legacy, not just for herself, but for the countless women who followed in her footsteps. "Cheers to the OG," Tamra said, appearing at Vicki's side with 2 glasses of champagne. "Nobody does it better." Vicki clanked her glass against Tamra's and smiled. "Nobody ever will."